Hello everyone. Welcome back. So I want to talk about the similar themes that I've been discussing in most of my videos. So I uh, have been going through a transition in the last uh, decade, and just like thousands or maybe a million people in the world, I have gone through this awakening. uh, you go through this kundalini awakening or spiritual awakening because of some trauma, or it can happen all of a sudden, and your gifts are activated. You feel like your ego has dissolved. It lasts for a certain amount of time, and it usually wears off. Um, but one can be convinced that you know that because they have realized themselves, or the truth, they are uh, now enlightened, and there is no need to do anything, and everything is an illusion, a mirage is just happening. And you know uh, and they believe that their ego is no longer there. You can tell yourself whatever you want. You can say that you are Donald Trump, but you don't become that. If it was so easy, then everybody would be a saint, right? uh, and and that's what I feel, that if I am awakened, then why do I still have an ego? So if the ego is there, that means the anger and the insecurity, the fear, the depression, anxiety, and all kinds of emotions, the attachment with the world, desires, you know, all these things are there because you are not awakened. If you really have awakened, you are not going to think about yourself anymore, and you you will be in complete devotion to God, and uh, you will be in service to others. This is a sure sign that your soul is highly evolved, or mature, or awakened. uh, and and that's why, like I said in a previous video, that there's a fine line between faith and delusion. So a part of us wants to feel important, or special, and we we'll put labels on ourselves. It's like you're naked and you're scared, and you wear something to cover yourself, and you feel comfortable or safe. So the same way we say, oh, you know you try to make sense of who you are. You say, oh, I have ADHD, or I have autism, or I have uh, some clinical depression. I have hypersensitivity, or I am this INFJ, or I am this uh, light worker, or I'm awakened, or whatever, right? And and that gives you a sense of purpose, because before that you were going through this emptiness, and you felt like you have nothing to offer to the world. And it's okay to feel like that. You don't have to feel ashamed, but one has to be uh, aware as well of reality. I mean, you must be gifted, and you could be helping people through your healing, uh, like Reiki or yoga or meditation. Maybe you are a tarot reader. Maybe you like to write. All these gifts are there within you that did not exist before in your life, and suddenly you are acting upon them. Uh, so that's great, but one has to understand that uh, when you are uh, going through this so-called awakening, in it's it's a very slow process. you know we have just been initiated. It's just the beginning. This kundalini thing, it's just a beginning, the dark night of the soul. It's nothing to be proud of. It's nothing to hold on to. And we realize that after some time, when we face the real world and we are triggered, because you can live in your ashram or your cave and feel safe, because that's your comfort zone. The moment you leave that and you enter the real world where there are people, especially those who may not be too polite, and you have to face your responsibilities and stuff like that's when where you realize that I am nowhere, I'm nothing. It's just like thinking that you are a billionaire, and one day you just go out to buy something with your credit card, and uh, it's declined, and you get a reality check that you are bankrupt. So it's similar, that what we have is what we can give. If you don't have the strength, you are unable to lift any weight. So yeah, I have been seeing many posts on YouTube, especially. I mean, social media is so vast nowadays that there are all kinds of people creating content, but I feel that it loses its value or meaning when there is no credibility. I mean, like, I personally feel that it's my responsibility to be honest as much as possible. I could be pretentious as well. Somewhere, like when I started this channel, it's just been 2.5 months, but initially I was in a state where I was posting certain content where I was in total conviction. Just like what I'm talking about right now is also something that I am uh, convinced about. Maybe my opinion will change in the future, but what I'm saying is that somewhere we are trying to sell something. We are trying to uh, project an image, uh, and that that is the problem, because image is always a lie. And regardless of what you are talking about, even if you're talking about the truth, even if what you're saying are facts, uh, that is also a lie, isn't it? Just like everything is an expression of truth, but it is still an illusion. Uh, so, um, so what I'm trying to say here is that ego can only be dissolved uh, if you surrender to a master, and only they can tell, like, if you can actually become enlightened in that life. But I feel that a spiritual teacher usually doesn't talk about those things. They will keep on testing you, because they are encouraging you to sustain yourself, to fulfill your purpose. Just like every person, every human being is is serving their purpose. They get a job, they get married, they have kids, they take care of their parents, they contribute in the community. So that is their service. That is how they are serving their purpose. They might not be religious or saying that, oh, I am spiritual, but they, as a human being, are doing what they're supposed to do. The same way, when you becomes uh, aware of your spiritual side, um, somewhere, there is this greed, or there is this part of you that is proud. You don't realize it, but it's really subtle, and it is there. uh, but you have to keep going, either way. Like, if you go to some guru, or if you just want to live independently in life, this is what I'm learning, that you have to keep going no matter what path you choose. No matter what path chooses you, you have to stick to that. uh, and that is how you are going to serve your purpose. um, you don't have to think about, if your ego is not there. uh, Maybe it's supposed to be there, because in a way it might be helping you. It's all about changing your behavior, making yourself uh, you know more passive or humble, trying to be more meek, kind to others. You may make mistakes. you know you may not be the best person around, but you get a chance every day to do something for others. uh, and I mean, it's all about how much creativity you have. Like, if you're full of vitality, libido, drive, you don't see things in black and white. You see a range of colors, because that's what life is all about. A beam of light is passing through a prism, and there's a spectrum, and all those colors are part of life. That that what gives birth to this holographic universe. And and a person who truly knows how to live to the fullest, that's what I need to learn. you know, what I've noticed is that they are enjoying life. You know, they don't try to shove something down your throat. They will accept you as you are. They will listen to you, have compassion for you, but they will live their own life. You know, they have their own sense of security, so they don't need to be influenced or try to influence others. uh, that's the thing about them, that they are so full of life and energy that it affects people around them in a positive way. And they are constantly in that process of living life. You automatically are going to help people in some way. I mean, it's inevitable, right? Like, for example, if you go outside for a walk, you will bump into someone who will be asking you an address of a location, and you can help them out, and you automatically performed a good deed, you know. And the same way, if you are going further, you might meet someone who needs the car to be pushed, or you might meet someone who needs to eat something, and you may realize that you have some money that you save for yourself, but you sacrifice it and you give it to them, and it makes them happy. uh, you go further, you meet a child who's feeling miserable and crying, and you just make them laugh, or give them a hug or whatever, and they that can make their day. uh, so it's something that manifests automatically, and if somebody is not feeling their best, if they are miserable or feeling, very low, and they're in a negative state, their energy will affect others automatically. They may not even realize it, but you will get agitated or irritated. You might throw tantrums. You might react, and uh, that that is what will become your karma, isn't it? I mean, whatever you're carrying, whatever you're putting back in the universe, you are going to receive it. That's the energy you are going to get. So it's important to keep our aura in check, and because we all are humans, we all are, we have our limitations, and it's important to maintain ourselves rather than having such high expectations that I should be this or I should be that. um, I mean, it's important to be aware of our actions rather than being attached to our identity. And yeah, so this is something that I'm learning, and I thought I should share with you guys. Maybe you can resonate with it. Some of you may not agree with it. That's your choice. That you don't have to. Everybody is in their own reality, uh, and you have to question your beliefs and stick to what you think is your truth. And we all are on our the journey, right? And but what is common is, no matter what your beliefs are, common thing is the love. We all are born out of love. We all need love. and we all are love at the root, and that is the greatest religion. Love, peace, kindness, and only when you put a label on it and you put logos on it and you put a this flag with an anthem, and you make a certain building, you start separating yourself. That is where the conflict begins. Unfortunately, I mean, it has its own beauty, but we don't look at the bigger picture, unfortunately, as humans, because we haven't evolved as much as we should have. We see things literally. If you are going in a bar, or if you are having lassi, you know, uh, it's like it's it's the same thing. It's just that the content is different, but both the individuals are trying to uh, have a drink. It's the cultural difference that in India or Pakistan, people will prefer to have lassi and some or chai. Some and somebody in the West is having coffee, or is having, let's say, beer or wine. Uh, so if you start seeing it from a superficial perspective, you will get offended, and you will say, oh, that is forbidden, and this is healthy and whatever. But if you just respect that person's choice, it will be easy to get along, because at the end of the day, you're not harming anyone. Just like people smoke around the world, right? You might be smoking from a particular brand, and I am having an e-cigarette, whatever, vape. So just because our brands are different, or the style of smoking is different, doesn't mean that you know I am better or inferior.